All right, guys, we need to talk. And I mean seriously talk, because Cursed Clash just dropped and it's a complete disaster. But here's the thing, nobody, and I mean nobody, is willing to call it out for what it really is. A broken mess that's somehow getting praise from people who clearly haven't played past the tutorial. But don't worry, because I'm about to break down exactly why this game is cursed in all the wrong ways. So here's the deal, right? Everyone's been hyping up Cursed Clash as the next big fighting game, the one that's supposed to revolutionize how we think about anime fighters. And sure, the trailers look sick, the character designs are clean, and the promise of that smooth 60 FPS combat had us all ready to throw our money at the screen. But then the game actually launched, and holy shit, what a mess. We got servers that crash more often than a drunk driver, connection issues that make online play completely unplayable, and don't even get me started on the balancing, because apparently the developers think that one character being able to infinite combo you to death from a single jab is totally fine. Let's start with the obvious stuff, the technical problems that should have never made it past beta testing. First off, the netcode is absolutely garbage. And I'm not being dramatic here. We're talking about input delay that makes Street Fighter V's launch look smooth by comparison. You'll press a button and your character will respond sometime next week. Meanwhile, your opponent is already 3 combos deep into deleting your health bar. And the worst part is that the developers are acting like this is somehow our fault for not having NASA-level internet connections. But it gets worse, because the game's training mode, which should be the most stable part of any fighting game, randomly crashes when you try to practice certain combos. Apparently, the game can't handle its own mechanics without having a mental breakdown. And honestly, same bro, same. Then there's the ranked system, which is so broken that players are getting matched with people who are literally 10 ranks above or below them. Imagine being a bronze player and suddenly you're fighting someone who could probably win EVO blindfolded. It's not fun, it's not fair, and it's definitely not helping anyone improve. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room, the character balance. And by balance, I mean the complete lack thereof. Because apparently the developers think that having one character who can kill you in 2 hits, while another needs a perfect combo lasting 3 minutes to do the same damage, is totally acceptable. There's this one character, let's call him Broken McBrokenface, who has a move that's plus on block, has invincibility frames, covers half the screen, and does more damage than some people's supers. And the developers' response to community complaints about this was basically, get good, which is corporate speak for, we have no idea what we're doing. Meanwhile, there are characters in this game who are so bad that picking them is basically a meme at this point. Their moves whiff on crouching opponents, their damage output is pathetic, and their special moves have more recovery frames than a surgery patient. But hey, at least they look cool while getting bodied. But here's what really gets me, the community's reaction to all of this. Because instead of calling out these obvious problems, people are making excuses left and right. Oh, the game just needs time to develop. The developers are indie, so we should be patient. It's not that bad once you get used to it. No, stop it. This isn't about being patient or understanding. This is about holding developers accountable for releasing a product that clearly wasn't ready for launch and charging full price for it. Would you buy a car if half the wheels fell off and then defend the manufacturer because they're still learning? The fighting game community has this weird habit of accepting broken games as long as they have potential. But potential doesn't win tournaments. Potential doesn't make online play enjoyable. And potential definitely doesn't justify spending $60 on what's essentially an expensive beta test. And don't even get me started on the marketing campaign, because holy shit, the lies these people told us. Remember when they promised the most balanced roster at launch? Or revolutionary netcode that would change online fighting forever? Well, congratulations guys, you revolutionized it. All right, you made it worse than games from 2005. They showed us all these flashy trailers with perfect gameplay, smooth combos, and epic moments. But what we got was a slideshow with sound effects, and the occasional input registration. And the best part is that when people started complaining, the developers acted surprised, like they had no idea their own game was broken. It's like they developed this game in a vacuum where physics work differently and network connections are powered by hopes and dreams. Then, when it hit the real world with real players and real internet connections, everything fell apart faster than a house of cards in a hurricane. But here's why this actually matters, beyond just us being disappointed consumers. Because when games like this get released in broken states and then get defended by the community, it sets a precedent that tells other developers, hey, you can ship garbage and people will still buy it. We're literally training the industry to lower their standards and raise their prices at the same time. And then we act surprised when the next big release is also a broken mess. It's a cycle of disappointment that we're actively participating in by making excuses for unacceptable products. The fighting game community deserves better than this. We deserve games that work on day one. We deserve developers who actually playtest their products, and we deserve to not have to wait 6 months for patches that fix problems that should never have existed in the first place. So here's the uncomfortable truth: we need to stop buying broken games, period. I don't care how much potential they have. I don't care how much you love the franchise, and I definitely don't care about supporting small developers who can't be bothered to make their games actually function. Money talks and bullshit walks. And until we start voting with our wallets, these companies will keep releasing broken products because they know we'll buy them anyway, and then defend them online like we're getting paid for it. Look, I'm not trying to hate on anyone who's enjoying Cursed Clash despite its problems. If you're having fun, more power to you. But let's not pretend this game isn't a mess. And let's definitely not pretend that pointing out obvious flaws makes someone a hater. The game is broken. The developers knew it was broken. They released it anyway and charged full price for it. That's not an opinion, that's just facts. And until we start treating facts like facts, instead of personal attacks, we're going to keep getting served garbage on a silver platter. So, yeah, Cursed Clash is a mess, and it's about time somebody said it out loud, because pretending everything is fine when it clearly isn't doesn't help anyone except the people who are laughing all the way to the bank with our money. If you agree with this take, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more honest game reviews, and let me know in the comments what other games need the reality check treatment, because trust me, there are plenty more where this came from.